It's your boy Ty back here with another video, and in this video today, guys, we're going to be going over and talking about our top 10 point guards in NBA 2K23 MyTEAM. Now, I do got to start this video off by saying the point guard position is absolutely stacked, okay? And when I say that, just know I mean it. Like, my 8 through 10 on this list, I think can play at the highest level. Like, if my 8 through 10 is your starting point guard in my team, again, that's fine because they can compete at the very highest level. And the difference between my number 1 and my number 10 is not that large. So just kind of keep all of those things in the back of your minds as we do dive into this thing today, guys. I'm pretty excited about it, and hopefully you guys are as well. It's Thursday, man. Let's make the most of it. Hopefully you guys are having a blessed Thursday right now. Started it at number 10, or if you're seeing this thing on Friday, Saturday, man, I hope you guys are having a blessed day. Galaxy Opal Draymond Green at number 10. Now you guys might be like, what, Ty? Isn't he your point guard on your no money spent? And he is. You would be absolutely correct. Right now, Draymond Green is my starting point guard on the no money spent squad. But does that mean that Draymond is bad? Does that mean that you guys, should look to replace him? Like, no. I mean, again, my number 10, I told you guys before I started this, my number 10 is going to be really solid, okay? So just because he's only at number 10 on this list doesn't mean you need to, like, just panic or anything like that. He's still really solid in my team. 6'7", 7'1" wingspan, hot spots from everywhere outside of the top of the key. The big deal for Draymond Green is this, okay? His wide player model doesn't allow him to move that well, that quick. And he doesn't come with some key dribbling badges, right? No handles for days, no hyperdrive, killer combos. Like, those just hurt the card's value a little bit. I still really do like Draymond. I feel like, 6'7" is just fine to put him on like a Tracy McGrady, put him on, the Billy Knights of the world. But, he's going to still get mashed by guys like Taco, guys like Yao, as basically everybody does in my team. I really do like Draymond. He's been kind of my point guard on the no money spent for quite some time, but just kind of keep in the back of your minds, he's not going to create much offense for you. So if you run him, again, I'd recommend running a guy like Glenn Rice right beside him. That can get you a bucket when Glenn is released tomorrow. At number 9, a very similar card to Draymond Green is the Galaxy Opal Scotty Barnes. Now, whether you prefer Scotty Barnes, whether you do prefer Draymond Green, it's really personal preference. I don't think you can really go wrong with either of these guys. I feel like Draymond's release is easier to green. Scotty's might be that little bit quicker. Scotty does have the Steve Francis size up, which I know a lot of people do like normal leader as well. I mean, I do think Scotty Barnes is overall the better card. That's just my opinion. Now, do I think it's by a wide margin? No. Would I pay any more for Scotty Barnes than I would for a guy like Draymond Green? No, because they're basically going to give you the same exact thing on the court. They're going to be absolutely incredible defensive players, right? Scotty Barnes gives you a little more height. Draymond's a little wider. They're going to be incredible offensively. Or they're going to be incredible defensively, but offensively, they leave a little bit to be desired. And that's my big thing, right? When I've been running Draymond Green on my squad, it's like, man, I really struggled to score. So, I mean, again, it really is all preference-based. Guys like Damian Lillard, Russell Westbrook aren't on this list, but you definitely could have them on this list, right? They're just a little small for my liking, and I do think Scotty Barnes and Draymond Green can just compete a little bit better. At number 8, another tall dude in Alfred Sengun. Now, Sengun is a card at 6'10" that can compete at every level, okay? That's the first thing you need to know. He is not going to get mashed by much, right? He's going to be better at defending the mash compared to a guy like a Draymond Green, compared to a guy like Scotty Barnes, because he's 2 inches taller, and his natural position is that center position. So even his badges, right, naturally he's going to have those center-type badges. So that's what's different about Sengun compared to Draymond and Scotty Barnes. Offensively, Sengun is boxed, man. If we're speaking purely offensively, he might be the worst offensive point guard on this entire list, right? Because look, all he really gives you is mashing. His release is really slow. It's not even that smooth, easy to green. Like, there's just not much to really love about Sengun on that offensive end of the court. But defensively, card is absolutely elite. You could honestly make the case for Sengun as a top 5 point guard in my team. And I think a lot of guys would. To me, it's just offensively, I think he's pretty boxed. And there are point guards that like my number 4, most people would have Şengün over, right? It's just that simple. But I like my point guard to be able to at least get me somewhat of a bucket, and Şengün really can't do that in my team. At number 7, Galaxy Opal Pistol Pete Maravich. And I know a lot of people would maybe have Şengün over Pete. But again, Pete's more fun to use. He's free, and he's going to give you offense. So at the end of the day, I'm going to give the advantage to Pete Maravich. And I know a lot of people are like, Şengün's better. But Pistol Pete offensively is one of our best cards in my team. And again, I'll give the advantage to the offensive person, because even if you have great defenders, it's hard to get a stop anyways, right? And I do love defense, but that's just the way it is. Pete Maravich offensively is super tough to guard. Great playmaking badges, Hall of Fame range, Ray Allen base, Morris upper arm, very quick, super smooth. Trey leaner, which means he's even going to be better on current gen. Great dribble sigs as well. I didn't end up grinding for Pistol Pete just because I don't think he's worth my time. Like, he's 17 hours. That grind is a really long grind. But if you were able to get Pistol Pete Maravich, he's a top 7 point guard still to this day, in my opinion. He's just different than everybody else we've covered, right? Draymond, defensively, an absolute menace. Scotty Barnes, defensively, an absolute menace. Şengün, defensively, an absolute menace. And then you get Pistol Pete Maravich, who, on the flip side, is incredible offensively, a little different point guard, but absolutely incredible. At number 6, we're going to plug in the Big O, okay? And I know a lot of people don't like what I'm doing here, okay? But you guys got to hear me out. When I did a gameplay of Oscar, I loved it. I go watch the gameplay if you don't think he's a top 6 point guard of my team. I loved it, man. And people are going to say, Ty, his release is slow. I mean, it's slow, but compared to Draymond, compared to Şengün, compared to Scotty Barnes, it's quicker than all those. He's got the Oscar upper, which is easy to green. He's got great dribble sigs. I like Oscar, man, and I know a lot of people don't, but I think as far as complete point guards go, he's up there with the rest of them. Now, he's way overpriced, I'll give you that, so I wouldn't ever spend the MT to get him. But let's say you locked in this set for Terry Dishinger, you can definitely use Oscar at that point guard position. And honestly, if I had Terry locked in, I would use Oscar, okay? It's just the way it is. This card is one of the best point guards in my team. I know his release might not be that fast, but if you have T-Mac, if you have Terry, and you don't need to really shoot that much with Oscar anyways. So just do what you got to do, man. Use him as that just traditional type of, point guard, facilitate, make that, occasional play as a secondary ball handler. But defensively speaking, especially playmaking, the Big O is my man in my team. At number 5, Dark Matter Lonzo Ball. And I know there's a lot of people out there who hate Lonzo, but hear me out. Defensively, there's not going to be many better than Lonzo, okay? Defensive stats, incredible. Defensive badges, incredible. Tendencies, absolutely elite. Is Lonzo worth his price? No. He is absolutely not worth his price. But if you're a big Lonzo Ball fan, the card's a top 5 point guard. I don't like his release. I think it's a little slow, but it's on very quick. Normal leaner on very quick. MJ dribble style. I mean, yeah, I don't love his size up, but he's got the Trey move by the back, which, again, I wouldn't even say is great. We're looking for the Lillard. But in general, when I use Lonzo, he low-key impressed me, and I wasn't expecting him to. But he low-key played really solid for me. So maybe it's just one of those things, like I did a gameplay with him, and yes, he played well. But so did Oscar. So did a lot of these other guys. I just think Lonzo as a complete point guard gives you a little more than Oscar, a little bit more than like a Pete Maravich as just an overall card in my team, cracking my top 5. At number 4, this one is TyDeBo bias. I don't care. Galaxy Opal Magic Johnson. I'm biased for Magic Johnson. I'll be the first one to admit that because I am. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I am biased for Magic Johnson. But why? Okay? Why am I biased for Magic? Because defensively, he's elite. Playmaking-wise, he's elite. He's got the day behind the back, which is incredible. His release is slow, but it's easy to time, easy to green. And he's 6'9" at point guard. To me, he's like a 6'9" compared to a 6'10" Şengün, who I believe Magic Johnson moves way better than, and I'm way better with Magic Johnson. So, I mean, even when you compare him to a Şengün, a lot of people are going to say, Ty, Şengün is better. You guys can make that argument, but for me, Magic Johnson moves better. Magic Johnson, I am better with. So that's why he's at number 4. But again, if you want to put Şengün at number 4, Magic at, wherever I had Şengün, number 8 or whatever, do what you guys have to do. This is my tier list. This is how high I am on specific players. And I still to this day love Magic. Like if you can get a Magic with, 25 Hall of Fame badges, I would say that's a pretty good card to add to your squad. Because right now, Magic Johnson, I mean, he's still over 100K, which is just crazy. But again, if you can get one souped up, definitely maybe worth a look at this stage. At number 3, plugging in dark matter Lamelo Ball. Now, people might still argue Lamelo as their best point guard in my team. And if that's the argument you want to make, I'm not going to argue against it. Lamelo is absolutely incredible. And I think you can make every case that he is a top at least 2 point guard in my team. For me, he just comes in at number 3. I've never been one to love the Lamelo Ball release. That's just me and my personal opinion. If you love Lamelo's release, do what you have to do. I've just never been a big fan of it. That's just me and my personal my personal opinion on it. But he plays defense. That's the big thing about this Lamelo Ball. He's 6'7". He plays defense. He can move decently. Still has that Lamelo base on quick, which is decently quick. It just all comes down to whether you can green the shot or not. MJ dribble style, I mean, card's got a lot going for him. I just prefer 2 cards more to him. And at number 2, we're plugging in Galaxy Opal Ben Simmons. Now, you guys can, again, argue this. Shane Goon's better, argue that, all that. Ben Simmons defensively is our best point guard in my team. And maybe the best card defensively for his respective position in the entire game. It's crazy that he came out almost 2 months ago when he's still our second best point guard in my team. You got to be skilled to use Ben Simmons. But he dunks on everybody. He plays immaculate defense. And he green shots if you got his release down. That's the big thing for me and Ben, right? A lot of people might be like, Ben Simmons, are you serious, Ty? Like, is he really that good? Like, it's just kind of personal preference. Because if you can't green with him with a 65 3-ball, then, you know, maybe you're not going to like the card. But if you got Monty Williams, it's a 69 3-ball. If you give him a shoe, it's a 73 3-ball. Like, you can really boost that 3-ball. Plus, he plays great defense. His release is easy to time, easy to green. To me, it's a no-brainer. Ben Simmons at number 2. And at number 1, dark matter Jimmy Butler. I don't think people realize how good dark matter Jimmy Butler truly is. And that's just my opinion, right? You can argue, you know, that your point guard is better than Jimmy Butler. But what I would say, people use Jimmy Butler at the highest level, okay? So if you're like, want to be the best player in my team, you know, that type of thing, Jimmy Butler is going to be your best option. Because the card is nearly perfect. Defensively, he's the T-Mac, Terry Dishinger stopper. Offensively, the card is just fine. He can be that secondary ball handler. His release is really smooth, really tough to contest because it's, you know, the lean back on very quick, normal leaner on very quick. I just love Jimmy Butler. If I was running my best squad in the game, he'd be on the squad, 100%. Now, he is way overpriced. I don't think he's worth his price for sure. But again, if you want the best point guard in the game, Jimmy Butler is going to be your option. Is there anybody I left off the list? Let me know down below in the comments. Dwayne Wade, Tyler Hero, who would you guys have liked to see on the list? Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you are doing it. As always, man, I love you guys, and have a blessed day.